what has been a sad event, but it's created opportunities for people as well. And we have seen, in the absence of being able to go to church or to events or to sort of physical classroom training sessions, whatever the case may be, we found ourselves being able to actually engage with these sessions online, which is amazing. And we've seen a lot of us, including myself, get onto the bandwagon of what is this constant churning out of speaking sessions online. But I will say to you, as a consumer of this content, to just be mindful of how much you're taking in. Certainly don't make it a habit of just simply moving from Instagram live session to webinar to just one to the other. And then what happens at the end of that? What have you done with all of that content to help yourself? So you've got to make time that allows you to reflect on what you've heard and then say, okay, so now what? What am I going to do with this information that I've heard? So just be mindful of that. The overloading of the news, the overloading of all this content coming to you has to be managed, sadly for some of us, it's actually going to be one of the ways that we just kind of disconnect and saves us from actually having to think of how we get to do something and move forward in some way, because we're all going to have to. The recovery period itself, all right, is actually going to create a kind of short-term period whereby we are going to be operating in a new normal. We are not going to be going out in the way that we used to. We are not going to be engaging with people in the way that we used to. The social distancing will still continue for a while, even though we've gone back to work, whatever work is going to look like, even if we have work. So you're going to have to figure out, well, how are you going to navigate your own path, your own journey within this period? And so if all you're doing is simply sucking up all the content, be it news, be it webinars or whatever the stuff is that people are saying, and after some time you're actually going to be finding that people are talking about the same thing anyway, then what? What are you doing? All right, so just be mindful of the content, how much of it. It's great, but be mindful of how much of it you're consuming until you then decide, well, what is it that you're actually now going to do for yourself? Okay, because you will need to act. If you're an individual that's really still trying to figure out how on earth am I going to navigate myself through the next 3 months, day, week, 6 months, year, doing something completely different that I've not done. I have no ideas what I'm good at, no ideas as to how I can even begin to think through that journey. More than happy to support you with that.